Hey friends, we're back with another video. This time it's the 10 phrases that don't mean what you think they mean in English. Number 1. I was heading to work when it hit me. I forgot my wallet at home. When you hear somebody say, "Oh, it hit me," it doesn't necessarily mean that they got hit by something. It can also mean that they remembered something. In this case, this person remembered that he or she forgot their wallet at home, so they probably need to return and retrieve it before they head into work, because they might need it later on to buy lunch, or even if they get pulled over by the police, they might need their driver's license, which is usually in a person's wallet. So a wallet is very important. And in this case, this person, the idea hit him or her that the wallet was at home instead of somebody or something physically hitting him or her. So, I was heading to work when it hit me. I forgot my wallet at home. Another way of saying this is, I was heading to work when I remembered I forgot my wallet at home. Number 2. I cannot put this book down. What does this mean? I cannot put this book down. Is somebody forbidding you from putting the book down? Or maybe it's too heavy and you cannot lift it to move it to another surface. What do you think? Well, it actually means that the book is very interesting, you like it, and you cannot stop reading it. Therefore, instead of saying, I cannot put this book down, you can actually say, I cannot stop reading this book because it's probably interesting, I'm learning something new, and I enjoy it. That's why I really don't actually want to put it down. I don't want to stop reading it. When you say, I cannot put this book down, it means that you don't want to stop reading the book because it's interesting. Number 3. Tom went on ahead of us. What does this mean? Tom went on ahead of us. Is there a head somewhere? What does it mean, ahead of us? What does this mean? It means that Tom actually went before somebody else. In this case, Tom went before everybody else who is saying this or who is hearing somebody say that Tom went on ahead of us. Therefore, Tom was the person who went somewhere before everybody else. Ahead doesn't have to do anything with this, and I know it can be confusing to a person that's just starting to learn English when they hear Tom went on ahead of us. They probably think that there's a head involved when there actually isn't. Maybe it's a metaphor because ahead is the first thing somebody notices, and Tom was the first person to go somewhere before everybody else. Therefore, Tom went on ahead of us actually means Tom went before we did. Number 4. You need to keep your mouth shut. Now, this can be a little obvious because you're actually telling somebody else that they need to close their mouth and stop talking. And this is a very rude way of telling somebody to not talk about you or to just leave you out of a conversation. You are probably upset when you say, keep your mouth shut. It's kind of a warning, actually. So, when you want to say you need to keep your mouth shut in a nice way, you can just say, can you please not talk about me anymore? Or can you please not talk about a situation that is very important to me? Instead of saying, you need to keep your mouth shut, or else. This is actually something that is referring to a big problem. Anyways, so now we know what keep your mouth shut means. Even though it's very obvious, it means not to talk about something or someone. Number 5. Are you all right? Yeah, I'm fine. When a beginner hears all right, he or she might think that this is referring to a direction. For example, on the right side of town or on the right side of the street, whatever. It's actually referring to, are you okay? You're worried about somebody and you want to see if they are all right or if they are okay. So you ask them, are you all right? Because something might seem off to you. You might think that they're having a bad day or having some problems and troubles in their life and they're not looking very well. So you ask them, are you all right? Their reply might be, yeah, I'm fine. Or somebody might say, no, my head hurts. I have a headache. Anyways, when you ask somebody, are you all right? You want to know how they are. So, are you all right is equal to, how are you? Number 6. I can't remember his name. It'll come back to you. Don't worry about it. When somebody says, it'll come back to you, they're not referring to a person or a pet that's going to come back to somebody else. They're actually saying that they will remember it later on. So, for example, when somebody says, I can't remember his name, and when somebody replies, it'll come back to you, don't worry about it, they are actually saying, you'll remember it, don't worry about it, it's not a big deal. You'll remember it. It'll come back to you. Therefore, it'll come back to you has to do with somebody's memories and not with somebody else returning to somebody else or a person or a pet or anything else. It doesn't matter. All that it matters is it has to do with someone's memory that's going to come back. They will remember something. Number 7. She was giving me the cold shoulder all night. I thought she liked me. What does this mean? The cold shoulder. What is a cold shoulder? It actually means to be ignored. So instead of saying, she was giving me the cold shoulder all night, I thought she liked me, you can say, she was ignoring me all night. I thought she liked me. Therefore, the cold shoulder actually means to be ignored by somebody. So, she was giving me the cold shoulder all night. She just wasn't interested in him, so she was ignoring him. But he thought that she liked him. And he got this wrong because if she liked him, she would not have been ignoring him all night. So, when somebody says that somebody else was giving them the cold shoulder, they actually mean that somebody else was ignoring them or not paying any attention to them. Number 8. The suspect is at large. Now this at large is actually used by police officers in their everyday job. However, a beginner might think that when they hear the suspect is at large, that the suspect is actually a large or tall person, when in reality this means that the suspect has run away from the police and they are chasing him. They are looking for him because they want to arrest him. So when you hear the suspect is at large, it means that the police are looking for a criminal, a person that has done something really bad, and they want to arrest him and make him pay for it. They want justice to be served. So, the suspect is at large means that the suspect has run away and we, the police, are looking for him. Number 9. You need to get over her. What does this mean? Is somebody telling somebody else that they need to walk over someone? In this case, it's a girl because we have a pronoun that's female. No, it means that a person probably had feelings for a girl, but she really wasn't for them, so they broke up and the person is feeling really sad and their friend is probably giving them advice. They need to move on. So when somebody says, you need to get over her, means that you need to move on and stop feeling sorry for yourself or feeling sad and depressed and just move on and be happy and forget about it. Every mistake that you make makes you learn something new and grow as a person, so this was a blessing in disguise. You need to get over her. Be happy. And number 10. Mark has been clean for 5 years. Does this mean that Mark was dirty before that? He didn't take showers or baths, he didn't wash his hair or brush his teeth? No, it means that he probably used to use some kind of alcohol or drugs and he doesn't anymore. He's clean. Now this refers to a person who had an addiction problem, but they've kept it under control and they've been sober for 5 years. So when you hear somebody say he's been clean for, 2, 5, 8 years, it means that he has been sober for that long. It means that he has not touched alcohol or drugs or any opioids in that amount of time. In this case, it's 5 years. Mark has been clean for 5 years. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something new, something fun. Please subscribe to my channel because there will be plenty more videos to come in English. So stay tuned.